I want to welcome everyone to the fifth meeting of House Transportation Committee for this session. I would ask that our members and guests, as always, please silence your cell phones. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Representative Blanton.
Here.
Representative Branscombe. Here. Representative Bridges. Representative Elliott. Representative Fleming.
Here.
Representative Hale.
Here.
Representative Heverin.
Present.
Representative Hodgson. Here. Representative Huff.
Here.
Representative Imes. Here. Representative Lewis. Representative McCool. Representative Neighbors.
Here.
Representative Palumbo. Representative Roberts.
Here.
Representative Smith. Representative Swan. Representative Tackett Lafferty. Representative Thomas. Representative Upchurch.
Here.
Representative Wesley.
Here.
Representative Williams.
Here.
Chairman Dixon.
Here. It appears we have a quorum and we are duly constituted to do business. Are there any members that have guests they would wish to recognize at this time? Representative Hale.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I appreciate the opportunity this morning. I have some guests with me today from my area, from Montgomery County, Mount Sterling, Kentucky. I have Mr. Charles Comer, the Montgomery County 4-H youth agent, and Jessica Drake from the Montgomery County Extension Program. And then I have three 4-H students, Clay Garland, Zach Manley, and Jackson Toy. Would you guys just all kind of wave to the committee there? Please make them welcome. I'm glad to have them visiting me today. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Welcome. Representative Heverin.
Thank you, Chairman Dixon. Today with me, I have my intern shadow page, Isaac Butler, right here with me. Isaac is a senior at Grayson County High School, and he is in a barbershop quartet and does other choral activities. So super excited to have him here. I like to embarrass him. The first time I met him, he said he was going to run against me. So I thought I would bring him here to the circus and let him see what it was going to be like. So please make my guest feel welcome today.
Thank you. We're going to go out of order of the agenda just a little bit. We're waiting on some folks to join us. So first on our agenda will be Senate Joint Resolution 58. It's a joint resolution designating the Brigadier General Charles Young Memorial Historic Corridor. Senator West. He was here. All right. Senator Neal, if you'll come to the table and introduce yourself for the record, and you may proceed. Your mic, sir.
Thank you for that instruction.
Thank you.
I'm Gerald Neal. I represent the 33rd Senatorial District in Louisville, and I'm honored to co-sponsor this resolution with Senator West. This particular piece of legislation, or let me tell you a little bit about Brigadier General Charles Young. He was an extraordinary individual who overcame incredible obstacles and achieved significant accomplishments throughout his military career. I could go into greater details, but he's an individual that actually had to fight to fight. When he was deemed to be too old and not fit, he actually got on a horseback and went across the country to show his fitness in order to stay in the military and to represent in that regard. But beyond that, he had done all kinds of things in the military, internationally, as well as nationally, and was at all times held up the standards of the military and did great things in that particular regard. So we thought it was fitting that he be recognized, and in fact, there's been an initiative that's been ongoing for a period of time where we've honored him here in the Rotunda during Black History Month as well, at least twice, because not only did he become Brigadier General as appointed by the governor posthumously, but also now he's been appointed nationally with the same title to show you the girth that he had and the interest that has been spawned nationally. So now this corridor is further recognition, but it goes beyond that, and I'm going to yield to Senator West to complete that presentation, if you will.
Motion on the Senate Joint Resolution.
I have a motion and a second. Senator West, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Steve West, District 27. Just want to say thank you to Senator Neal for including me. Charles Young is from my district, and this pathway would come down through Mason County and through Bourbon County, and we've worked kind of a tag team effort on this to get this corridor thing in place. And I always like to make the throw in there that this is for tourism as well, and this does coincide with the Bourbon Trail, and so maybe as people travel, they might stop along the way to imbibe. So appreciate the hard work he has done, and I thank him for including me.
Thank you. Well, I have a motion and a second. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Representative Blanton.
Aye.
Representative Branscombe.
Yes.
Representative Bridges.
Yes, and could I record my attendance, please?
Representative Elliott. Representative Fleming.
Quick comment, and I vote aye. I just want to thank the two senators, and nothing against you, Mr. Senator West, but Mr. Neal. I work with him on quite a few occasions, and I really look to you as a good role model for all of us in order to get things through. And I do appreciate you joining with the Senator West and making this a reality. So I vote yes.
Representative Hale.
Aye.
Representative Heverin. Yes. Representative Hodgson. Aye. Representative Huff.
Yes.
Representative Imes.
Yes.
Representative Lewis. Representative McCool. Representative Neighbors.
Yes.
Representative Palumbo. Yes. Representative Roberts. Yes. Representative Smith. Yes. Representative Swan.
Yes.
Representative Tackett Lafferty. Yes. Representative Thomas.
Aye.
Representative Upchurch.
Yes.
Representative Wesley. Yes. Representative Williams.
Yes.
Chairman Dixon.
Yes. Senate Joint Resolution 58 is reported with favorable expression. Appreciate you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members.
Next on our agenda is Senate Bill 129 related to automated license plate readers, sponsored by Senator and Chairman Higdon. If you'd come to the table, introduce yourself, and you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. I think you have a committee sub.
We've got a motion on the committee sub.
Second.
A second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. The committee substitute is adopted. Mr. Chairman, proceed.
Mr. Chairman, there's not a lot of additional information in the committee sub. I will go over it. They added back in, they did a little bit more definitions on what schools could have these school districts, public charter school, or schools certified pursuant to KRS 156, and post-secondary education institutions may deploy flock cameras, or ALPRs as they're called. Also, in paragraph 3, added section in section A, it added administrative investigations. Also added an entity that has become subject to a subpoena. They may subpoena those, and they can also for preservation of evidence. The bill itself, there's a lot of these flock cameras out there, and I received a lot of phone calls, and probably some of you all have also, very concerned about the information and what they're doing with this, how long they store it, where's it going, who can use them, and so this bill kind of puts it, tries to put it in perspective, who could use them, what happens to the information. And my main concern was that they could not sell the information, because that'd be some valuable information. Representative Hale, if they knew what McDonald's you passed every morning, they'd be out front one morning. Representative Hale, here, please stop and get your free sausage and biscuit, because they would know you were coming. And I think that information doesn't need to be out there. So I'll go through the bill real quick. It's automatic.
Motion on the bill. I have a motion and a second. Are there any questions? Representative Roberts?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senator, we have in our packet a letter here from the Kentucky Narcotic Officers Association in opposition to this bill. Can you talk some about their concerns?
Where are you? There you are. And that's a good question. And as a process, this is a process. That letter came out and came to us. We got a lot of people asking questions right at the very end. We thought it was important to go ahead and get it over to the House. And this is a process. So any of you all have want to make it a better bill? That's what the committee sub did. It made it a better bill, and I'm not sure where the information came from that was added to the bill, because I wasn't involved in the committee sub, but it might be in the committee sub, some of that information. So if it's not, feel free to take care of their issues. That's the way this process works. And this is new. We've not done any legislation on this. This is kind of like the autonomous vehicles. This is all new. And like I said, the main concern I was doing that the information couldn't be sold, and it kind of grew from there. And I think here's if you look at Section 4 was added, and they added some to. They can they can get data from, or who they can share it with, and it says to another law enforcement officer or agency in response to a subpoena to the National Insurance Crime Bureau, and so I think they wanted to tie into some of those other institutions that I didn't have included, and there's probably more. I made the comment that this bill kind of lawyered up. There was a lot of different, lot of input coming my way. So, and we kind of cut it off and sent it to the House.
Mr. Chairman, if I could maybe help address that.
Please do.
The committee sub does address the concern by the narcotics officers group. I have spoke with the director of the HIDA task force with the same concerns, and that's what the committee sub does. It addresses their issues to ensure they have access.
Mr. Chairman, I was sure you had my back, so thank you.
Representative Hodgins?
Yes, Senator, I appreciate very much your efforts to ensure the privacy of Kentuckians' data. My question for you, is there anything about this bill that enables, permits, allows under law more flock cameras going out, or for the purpose of law enforcement, say, issuing a ticket? Or is this just limiting the data that may be collected and stored?
It talks about who can use them, who can share information. At one time, the homeowners associations were in there to deal with them. They may or may not. I think in the committee sub they came out. So this is the Wild West on these, and they're available to a lot of people. But this bill primarily controls, the data and what they can do with it and how long they can keep it. But there's again, if you have any suggestions to make it better, please feel free to do so.
Thank you.
Does any other member have any question? Otherwise, I have a motion and a second on the bill. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Representative Blanton.
Aye.
Representative Branscombe.
Yes.
Representative Bridges. Yes. Representative Elliott. Representative Fleming. Aye. Representative Hale.
Aye.
Representative Heverin. Yes. Representative Hodgson. Aye. Representative Huff.
Yes.
Representative Imes.
Yes.
Representative Lewis.
Yes.
Representative McCool. Representative Neighbors.
Yes.
Representative Palumbo. Yes. Representative Roberts.
Yes.
Representative Smith. Yes. Representative Swan.
Glad to see this bill. I also filed this in the House, and yes.
Representative Tackett Lafferty.
Explain my vote. I'm actually going to pass on this one today just because I have actually received recently an email or two with some questions. I'd just like to make sure the committee sub addresses those issues that I've received emails about in the last day or two. They must have known it was coming. So I am going to pass right now and just kind of confirm that before the vote on the floor. Thank you.
Representative Thomas?
Aye.
Representative Upchurch?
Yes.
Representative Wesley?
Yes.
Representative Williams?
Yes.
Chairman Dixon?
Yes. Senate Bill 129 is reported with favorable expression with the committee substitute attached thereto. Chairman Higdon, you do have another bill, so.
Okay.
Senate Resolution 101, a joint resolution directing the Kentucky State Police to institute a pilot program for remote testing and instructional permits in counties that do not have a regional driver's license office. Senator Higdon, you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and
On the bill.
I would say there's, thank you.
Second. You got one? Okay. I have a motion and a second on the bill. Does any member have questions? Chairman Blanton?
Mr. Chairman, has there been any information about the cost of this resolution to KSP as far as additional costs they may incur?
I did get an email back from them that they would require some additional funds, and I assured them that in this next road plan, that you and I would, and Chairman Upchurch would certainly look favorable on making sure that they receive those funds, because this is an important issue for everybody in this room, and you've all got complaints about students missing 2 days of school to go get one to do their permit, one to get their license if they're lucky. I've heard of some going 4 or 5 times. But it is important. And the state police, this was laid in their lap, and they've been very cooperative. And I think, if anything we can do, the regional centers are here to stay, but if we can get the permit and the driver's testing, get a lot of that back locally, I think it'd be a big step in the right direction.
I agree, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Representative Hebron?
Thank you, Chairman Higdon. I greatly appreciate this. I believe that we both share Hardin County, a regional testing site.
We do, and it hasn't won any awards.
It has not. It is not. So I greatly appreciate you bringing this. I know this will be a big help to Hardin County and and most importantly, Grayson County, the other county in my district, because we're having to go to Eastern time zone. Could you do something about time zones on your next transportation bill? Teasing, of course. But I think it's so needed, and I've had so many constituents reach out to me talking about how difficult it is to get to Hardin County. And the time slots are always full because it serves so many counties. So I know that's something that the KYTC is working on, but I greatly appreciate you bringing this bill to help us and other local counties.
Well, thank you. And E-Town's defense, they do have a very subpar facility, and I know we're working on that. But some of the things we've done, you can tell constituents they can get their driver's license online. They can do it by mail. Or they can do the pop-up, like we had one here in the facility last week, and I got mine renewed for 8 years, so I'm good to go. Hopefully, I'm still driving in 8 years.
Seeing no other questions, I have a motion and a second on the resolution. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Representative Blanton?
Aye.
Representative Branscombe?
Yes.
Representative Bridges?
Yes.
Representative Elliott? Representative Fleming? Representative Hale?
Yes, thank you, Senator, for bringing this. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Representative Hebron? Yes. Representative Hodgson? Aye. Representative Huff?
Yes.
Representative Imes?
Yes.
Representative Lewis?
Yes.
Representative McCool?
Yes.
Representative Neighbors?
Yes.
Representative Palumbo? Yes. Representative Roberts?
Yes.
Representative Smith?
I'd like to explain my vote, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I appreciate the resolution, Chairman, and also look forward to presenting in your committee in the morning.
Thank you.
Yes.
Representative Swan?
Yes.
Representative Tackett Lafferty? Yes. Representative Thomas?
Aye.
Representative Upchurch?
Yes.
Representative Wesley?
Yes.
Representative Williams?
Yes.
Chairman Dixon?
Yes. Senate Joint Resolution 101 is reported with favorable expression. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, thank you, and members of the committee, thank you.
All right, next on our agenda is House Bill 199, an act related to motor vehicles. Representative Kulkarni, if you'll approach the table, introduce yourself and your guest.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. I'm State Representative Nima Kulkarni, representing the 40th Legislative District. I do have two guests with me who I'll allow to introduce themselves.
Dr. Sheila Schuster. I'm a licensed psychologist and the co-chair of the 874K Disabilities Coalition.
Ryan Straw, Governmental Affairs Chair and State Vice President for the State Fraternal Order of Police.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And thank you all for your consideration of House Bill 199 today. It is a simple bill that would amend KRS 186.032, which currently allows Kentuckians who are deaf or hard of hearing to provide that information to county clerks for inclusion in the vehicle registration database. So what House Bill 199 would do is add a list of communication disorders so that we can have more information for law enforcement for individuals who may also, in addition to being deaf or hard of hearing, have any impediments that would affect communication with law enforcement during traffic
Motion on the
stops.
bill.
I have a motion and a second on the bill. Are there any questions? Seeing none, Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Representative Blanton.
Aye.
Representative Branscombe.
Yes.
Representative Bridges.
Yes.
Representative Elliott. Representative Fleming.
Aye.
Representative Hale.
Yes.
Representative Heverin. Yes. Representative Hodgson.
Aye.
Representative Huff.
Yes.
Representative Alms.
Yes.
Representative Lewis.
Yes.
Representative McCool.
Yes.
Representative Neighbors.
Yes.
Representative Palumbo. Yes. Representative Roberts.
I'm casting a yes vote today, and I just wanted to say to Dr. Schuster and to Ryan, thank you both for being at the table. I know you came very well prepared for this, but your sheer presence tells us all this is a really good bill, so thank you for staying at the table.
Thank you. I feel better.
Representative Smith. Representative Swan.
Yes.
Representative Tackett Lafferty. Yes. Representative Thomas.
Aye.
Representative Upchurch.
Yes.
Representative Wesley. Yes. Representative Williams.
Yes.
Chairman Dixon.
Yes. House Bill 199 is reported with favorable expression. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman, members of the committee.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. Next on our agenda is House Resolution 52. Representative Heath, if you would approach the table, introduce yourself or any guest, and you may proceed.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, committee members. Richard Heath, State Representative from District 2. I'm flying solo today.
Thank you. I have a motion on the committee sub. Do I have a second? All right. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the committee sub, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Committee sub is adopted. Mr. Heath, you may Representative Heath, you may proceed.
Thank you. As you can see from the resolution, 72% of the goods in the United States are transported on trucks. At the same time, there are 78,000 job openings for CDL drivers, which makes them hard to find and expensive when you do find one. And then even when you hire a CDL driver, somebody will come along, pay them more money or offer them more benefits and hire them away from you. It's also a problem to get school bus drivers because of the CDL requirement. In February 7th of 2022, there was additional requirements put on to obtain a CDL, which has made it even harder. I'm told now it takes something like $4,000 to $5,000 and several weeks of training before you can get a license. And to me, that is overkill. I'll give you some examples. If you'll think about it, we know farmers are exempt from CDLs, but the individuals delivering seed, feed, fertilizer, and other goods to the farm, they are not exempt. Think about your Home Depots, your Lowe's, even the guys doing road construction All of those individuals I just mentioned park their truck at the end of every day, go home and sleep in their bed every night. They're not sleeping in truck stops. They're not long distance haulers. And
Motion on the House resolution.
I have a motion and a second. Are there any questions? Seeing none, Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Representative Blanton.
Aye.
Representative Branscombe.
Yes.
Representative Bridges.
Yes.
Representative Elliott. Representative Fleming.
Aye.
Representative Hale.
Yes.
Representative Heverin. Representative Hodgson. Representative Huff.
Yes.
Representative Imes.
Yes.
Representative Lewis.
Yes.
Representative McCool.
Yes.
Representative Neighbors.
Yes.
Representative Palumbo. Representative Roberts.
Yes.
Representative Smith. Representative Swan. Representative Tackett Lafferty. Representative Thomas.
Aye.
Representative Upchurch.
Yes.
Representative Wesley. Representative Williams.
Yes.
Chairman Dixon.
Yes.
Does he want to record?
Yeah.
Okay.
Representative Swan is recorded as a yes vote. With that, House Resolution 52 is reported with favorable expression with the committee sub attached thereto. Representative Heath, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee members.
All right. With that, Representative McCool, would you like to record a few votes on Senate Bill 129 and Senate Joint Resolution 101?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'd like to record a yes vote on both.
Thank you, Representative McCool. And now for our last item on the agenda today, up for discussion only, the Kentucky EMS license plate and the EMS Memorial Foundation. If you would please come to the table. This is the last item on our agenda today. This is to discuss the benefit of an EMS, or a plate to benefit the EMS Memorial Foundation. Representative Wesley, and I do not see, go ahead, Representative Wesley. And Representative Wesley, if you would introduce yourself and your guest for the record, and you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Representative Wesley from the 91st District, and it's a privilege and honor being here among the committee. And you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves.
My name is Dan Durham. I'm chairman of the Kentucky EMS Memorial Foundation from Campbellsville.
My name is William Duncan from McQuarrie County Ambulance Service.
You may proceed.
You go ahead.
Okay. Thank you all for hearing us today. It's been a long time coming. We worked diligently to get where we are today. A little history on the EMS plate. In Kentucky, there's never been an EMS plate. Fire, police, emergency management all have this plate that they proudly display. EMS does not. As far back as 30 years that I have found, there have been several attempts by several people to establish a plate that all have failed. About 10 years ago, myself and Jimmy Barnett at the McQuarrie County Ambulance Service, we had a dream to make this license plate a reality. We went through a bunch of designs that everyone would like to display, and we wanted to make that a reality. So the first few times that we tried, we went through the transportation department, but the restrictions were just overwhelming. So we were not able to make it happen. After that, we went through legislation. We tried to get enough support, but unfortunately at that time, we just could not pull it. We started calling representatives and senators asking for support. And like I said, it's been a total of 10 years now that we've been trying to get this license plate to even be heard as we are sitting here today. Last year, we finally started getting overwhelming support from many organizations, EMS professionals, and representatives and senators along the way. Representative Wesley stepped up, thank you very much for that, and sponsored this bill. And we're grateful for him and for you guys for hearing us. The plate may not seem much to some and nothing to others, but to EMS providers, it means a great deal. A simple action that we we could proudly display that we could call ours. EMS has always been kind of on the back burner until we're needed. And then at some point in all of our lives, everyone in this room will need an ambulance for themselves or for their direct family members. And this plate will help bring EMS back to the light. It will service thousands of EMS providers across all the counties in the Commonwealth. We in emergency services sacrifice daily times from family, pay, as we are one of the lowest paid healthcare professionals in the Commonwealth. Right now, most paramedics make $15 to $18 an hour. And that's with all the amount of time you're away from your family, all the training. Last year alone, we had a 21% decrease in emergency professionals leaving. So if you ask, how the EMS plate changes this, well, it changes everything. This will tell us that our leadership in Frankfort, we see you, we hear you, and we support you. This plate is, we call it the hope for our future of EMS professionals. This is something that each EMS provider can proudly display with pride. This is something for the future that future generations can have. And this is for the young children sitting in the back of the car behind an EMS professional that asks their parents, hey, what is EMS? And the EMS Memorial Fund, which Dan will explain in a minute, at the McCreary County Ambulance Service, we have been fighting for this bill for 10 years, and we're diligently on the bill with some of you all. Dan had approached us a little while back wanting the funding, the fee, to go to the EMS Memorial Fund, and we felt that this would be a great idea and help funding this along with getting our plate pushed through. Thank you very much.
If I can add real quick, this plate's been being pushed for about 10 years by the EMS, been requesting that the transportation department would print them a plate. And I'm thankful for our first responders. They do a lot. And thank you for all your support out there, especially Representative Upchurch and also Mr. Snyder and Representative Blanton. So I'm going to turn this over to Dan. He'll explain the funding part.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman and ladies and gentlemen of the committee. As emergency medical providers in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, we strive daily to provide the highest quality care to those that are entrusted to us. We chose this profession, and we do it to the best of our abilities. However, some of our providers, their service was cut short, and as they made the ultimate sacrifice. In January of 2017, a group of EMS providers came together to push for the development of a memorial to honor emergency medical providers who died in the line of duty, and we formed the Kentucky EMS Memorial Foundation. Now, the family of those heroes know that someone remembers their loved one and their sacrifice. Our mission is to construct and maintain an EMS memorial for the 37 men and women in Kentucky who have died in the line of duty while providing emergency medical care. We have been granted property here in the city of Frankfort at Juniper Hills Park, adjacent to the Fire Memorial. The Police Memorial is in Richmond, Kentucky, at Eastern Kentucky University at DOCJT. However, there has never been an EMS memorial constructed. So that is our goal, and we are working diligently to do that. And one of the big pieces of that, obviously, is funding. So when we had the opportunity to look into this opportunity for a $10 fee to be attached to each of those EMS plates, we saw that as a good opportunity for EMS providers in Kentucky to basically support their own memorial. And to do that, we're doing that ourselves by purchasing those plates and then by displaying them and allowing that extra fee to go to the EMS memorial. So we do ask you for your support on this and support for continued funding for the EMS memorial itself. We thank you for your time.
This plate's not going to be a burden on the state in any kind of way. We ran House Bill 370 last year where we tacked on several plates on this House bill that is in a transition at this time. And so we want to thank also Mr. Bishop back in the back for heading this up also, where the plates are being printed. It's not being stamped. And so it's an inexpensive cost on these plates. And so I'm in support of this bill, which is House Bill 14. We wasn't able to work out all the kinks this year, but hopefully in the future we can get this funding pushed towards the EMS memorial. Thank you for your time, Mr. Chairman.
No, thank you, gentlemen. Representative, I have Chairman Blanton.
Gentlemen, thank you for being here today and your presentation. I've spoken with you about it, and so that other committee members may know. And I will say this, I hate that it's taken this long to get you all here, but I think you're going to be able to say they saved the best for last, because there's a high probability you all will be the last ones coming and talking to this committee about these type of license plates. For committee members, it will no longer require a legislative action. Transportation is developing and soon be up and running a program where people who want these type of license plates will be able to go online and apply for them without having to go through the General Assembly. And you can add for your all's, as in your all's case, the $10 fee for those that are purchasing it. And in speaking with them, it wouldn't have mattered if we'd passed House Bill 14 or you just get online when the portal opens and apply. The plates would not be ready any sooner. So we have chosen to that we're not going to run any more of these plates because of this opportunity for you to simply go online, apply, and get these type of plates. But we did want to give you a chance to tell your story, to promote your memorial fund and your memorial that you're building. I think it's greatly needed, and it's very much been earned by those who's made the sacrifice. So I wanted to thank you all, plus explain to the committee members why that we're not any longer doing these license plates. Thank you.
Representative Upchurch.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. William, thank you for being here today. I know we've talked about this on the phone quite a bit.
Yes, thank you.
And, I want you all to know that EMS has not been slighted, because of this at all. If you had been, I've got a brother I think's worked at the McCreary County EMS, and although he's my little brother, he's a little bit bigger than I am, and I've got to be careful around him. But I know Matt Cole is here, Commissioner Cole, and if it'd be appropriate, would it be all right to have him come up and just kind of give a brief on the process for them, or maybe get with them afterwards? Probably get with you all afterwards, but go ahead. Just get with you all afterwards. Okay. But I want to let you all know that this has kind of been a long process. And a few years ago, we put a moratorium. Transportation Cabinet asked that we put a moratorium on these plates because we were getting requests, and the cost of it was just taking up a lot of the cabinet's money that we really wanted going towards roads, and knowing that there was a better way coming down the pike. So I think we're getting there, and like Chairman Blanton said just a minute ago, you'll probably be the last one here requesting, but you'll be the first in the hopper once it's ready to go. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Does any other member have any comments or questions? All right, seeing none, gentlemen, I appreciate you bringing this before us, and I think I speak on behalf of the committee. We appreciate what your profession does each and every day for the citizens of our Commonwealth. So thank you so much for coming today and testifying before us on this discussion matter.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
With that, this is our last regularly scheduled meeting for the session. If there's any need for a special meeting, members will be notified. But I would like to take this opportunity to echo what I'm sure most of you in the entire committee are feeling. We want to give a special thanks for the hard work and dedication that our staff, John, Dana, Ashley, and Christina, do for us every day, and we truly appreciate you. So thank you so much. And with that, do we have any other issues to come before the committee today?